and how our programs get executed. Okay. So if you all remember, in the very beginning, the first or second class, we have discussed few computer hardware components. So basics, just the basics of computer organization. It will help us in understanding how a computer runs a program. So broadly, if I want to draw a diagram, simple line diagram of a simple computer, then I will have these parts. So we have input and output devices. We have CPU, which we call as brain of computer. We have primary memory and we have secondary memory. Now this CPU and this memory are the two primary components of any computer. The CPU executes instructions and memory is used to store or hold program data and code. Okay. In CPU, we have arithmetic and logical unit, we have control unit, and we have registers. Now this arithmetic and logic unit, this ALU, can be considered as a super calculator. Okay, it carries out all your arithmetic task, comparison related task, logical operations like and or not. So all these arithmetic and logical calculations are done by arithmetic and logical unit, ALU. This control unit, it doesn't it does not perform any computations, but it controls the way data is moved between various components of the computer, like how it is moved from primary memory to ALU or control unit or back to primary memory. So all these information, all these instructions and flow of data is controlled by control unit. Okay. Now this we have this registers also. What are these registers? We will get it, come to it later as well. So these registers can be considered as storage devices, storage units, which store the current instructions and its data. Okay. Now the CPU, this processor needs both fast memory and slow memory. So for fast memory we have primary memory, and for slower memory we have secondary memory. प्राइमरी मेमोरी में क्या क्या आता है?
RAM and ROM.
रैम एंड रोम. So this primary memory is used for storing instructions and data of the program currently in execution. Now let's understand it properly, one by one. When you write, to write a program, you need an editor. So suppose you write a code in C or maybe Python, any code. So demo1.py or demo1.c. So this file is stored in your hard disk. This hard disk is your secondary storage devices, secondary storage device. Okay. Now this is the program you have written in high level language. Okay. We have already discussed that since computer is an electronic device, it generally understands 0 or 1. That is, it understands only machine language. So this, for execution of program, this information, this code which you have written in Python or in higher level language should be converted into machine language. This can be done using your interpreter or compiler. Okay. When we talk about C, when we compile our file, then we can have a file is created which contains that code in machine language. Okay. Now, whenever any code is executed, that has to be loaded. अभी हमारा कोड कहाँ था? यहाँ पे. This demo1.py or demo1.c was written on secondary memory. जो D, C drive होते हैं या desktop होते हैं, they all store your information on secondary device. जो 1 TB की हार्ड डिस्क होती है in your specification और 512 GB की हार्ड डिस्क होती है, that is your secondary memory where you write your code using any editor. So this demo1.c, this need to be converted into machine language. Now when you want to execute it, execute क्यों? कि ये जो भी instructions दिए हैं उसका क्या process हो रहा है. That execution can be done using ALU, arithmetic logical calculations अगर कुछ भी है, that will be done using ALU. So your machine language code has to be processed using this processor. Now for this processor to process this machine language code, it should be loaded in primary memory, that is your RAM. Okay. So CPU can only execute code which is present in the RAM. It can only access the code which is present in RAM. Okay. So that's why all your instructions, your code, data related to the program which is currently in execution is stored in your RAM. That's why it is also called as online memory. Okay, online storage or online memory. Since on secondary storage device, you store the files which you may not require currently. You store it here for the permanent storage. So this secondary storage devices are also called as offline storage or offline memory. ऑनलाइन मीन्स अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं एट प्रेजेंट. सो जो भी प्रोग्राम अभी एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है उससे रिलेटेड जो भी कोड, जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं, दोज इंस्ट्रक्शंस शुड बी लोडेड इन रैम एंड CPU can only access these instructions which are at present there in the RAM. Okay. Now what is the role of these registers? So before coming to registers, we also have another type of memory which is called as cache memory. If you have read the specification of recent computers or mobile phones, it says L1 cache, L2 cache. Okay, so so the portion of code which is used very frequently by the CPU, that portion is stored here. Frequently required data, that is stored in the cache memory. This is fast, but the size is very small. Okay, so we can say that it acts as a buffer between CPU and RAM. So when executing a program, the CPU first looks for instruction and data in cache. If it finds them there, access of the slower RAM can be avoided. इसको इस तरह से समझ सकते हो. Suppose you go to a shop. Okay, so there are few items which are already present in the showcase. तो अगर उस तरह का if you want those items, वो फटाफट से showcase में से निकाल के दे देगा. Then that is your cache memory. जो बहुत frequently काम आते हैं वो बस उठाया और दे दिया. Then you have उसके बाद में क्या होगा, वो कहीं साइड में से या कहीं अंदर जाके कुछ सामान लाके देगा जो थोड़ा स्लो है बट कंपैरेटिवली फास्ट है, एंड वो वही सामान तुमको दे सकता है जो उसकी शॉप में अभी पड़ा हुआ है. ओके, दैट इज योर रैम. नाउ देयर मे बी सर्टेन आइटम्स जिसके लिए ही सेज अच्छा एक बार गोडाउन में से मंगवा के देता हूं. ओके, सो दैट गोडाउन इज योर सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज डिवाइस जिसका एक्सेस बहुत स्लो भी है और हम अभी ऑनलाइन एक तरह से काम नहीं कर रहे. दैट डेटा शुड बी लोडेड इन द शॉप एंड देन इट कैन बी sold to any customer. Okay, so the cache memory is very fast but its size is small. Okay, so when computer wants to execute any program, first it looks for the cache memory. अगर वहां पे मिल जाता है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, it would be very fast. Then if it doesn't find that instruction there, then it looks for the RAM. Okay, is this clear to everyone?
Ma'am, 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 if cache memory is so fast, then why are we using RAM?
हमारे पास क्या होता है, देर इज ऑलवेज अ ट्रेड ऑफ बिटवीन कॉस्ट एसोसिएटेड विथ ईच एंड एवरी डिवाइस. हमको कंप्यूटेशन भी चाहिए, बट वी हैव टू चेक फॉर द कॉस्ट एज वेल. दिस कैश मेमोरी इज वेरी कॉस्टली. ठीक है, तो अगर हम पूरा ही रैम हटा के कैश मेमोरी कर देंगे तो कॉस्ट विल बी वेरी हाई. इट विल नॉट बी अफोर्डेबल फॉर एवरीवन. So if you will look, this is the progress we are making. Earlier, the RAM, the size of RAM used to be uh, 128 MBs. Then it started with 512. 2 MB was very 2 GB used to be considered very good. When I was doing my BTech in my first year, we used to have a pen drive of 512 MBs. And if someone has 1 GB pen drive, oh, that student was considered very rich. Okay, that he can store so much amount of data. And at that time, the mobile phones also had very limited amount of memory. So उस टाइम पे क्या था, इन सब की कॉस्ट बहुत ज्यादा थी. Now with advancement with in this electronic circuitry and other things, the nanotechnology has arrived. So with this, we are able to construct very small devices in, and also can check with the cost as well. So that's why this specification has increased. Maybe by the time you start your professional life, maybe we will have more advanced versions of these memories. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
cache memory like Optane does.
Cache memory is like what?
Like we have Optane in nowadays.
कैश मेमोरी you have these days. If अगर बहुत अच्छे से कभी पढ़ा है तो there are multiple levels of cache these days. Level L1, L2 cache, L3 cache. तो जो L1 cache होता है, this is the fastest cache of the system and it is small, very small in size.
Okay, ma'am.
If we talk
Yes,
about
ma'am, it shows in Task Manager.
i7 जो प्रोसेसर आते हैं अभी आज के दिनों में, मतलब बहुत हाई एंड प्रोसेसर्स भी आते हैं, उसमें L1 कैश का साइज होता है 32 KB. दिस इज वेरी स्मॉल, but it is sufficient for those instructions which are frequently being used by the processor. So those instructions can be stored in L1 cache. There are other levels of cache. L2 cache, उसका साइज वो उतनी फास्ट नहीं होगी, उसका साइज थोड़ा सा बड़ा हो जाएगा. L3 कैश हो जाएगी, उसका साइज 2 MB 8 MB हो जाएगा. So it depends. Okay.
Okay.
Now we were saying here कि CPU calculations कर सकता है, but all the instructions are here, means in the primary memory. But if suppose a CPU is doing some multiplication, at that time it also requires certain values, certain instructions to be stored in the processor itself. So for this we have registers. So this a small number of there is a few number of registers which are very fast. These are integrated in the CPU and it can be considered as fastest memory of the computer. Okay. Now this cache memory, it enhances the performance of your system. Okay. And these registers are considered as workplace where CPU does all its work. And this length of the register is equivalent to computer's word. what is this computer's word? What do we understand by one word? We will come to it means just in few minutes. So what happens is computer loads the data from RAM to these registers and start processing them. Okay. Is this clear?
Ma'am, which is faster, cache or registers?
Register. This is the fastest memory of the computer.
Okay.
Ma'am, are these a part of the CPU?
Registers are part of the CPU, yes. They are integrated in your CPU, in the processor itself.
Okay, ma'am.
अगर कभी मौका मिले तो you will find that there are separate you can say pieces, you can say that there are these RAMs are separate. You can means if you remember, if you know that this storage can be increased, this RAM can be increased, they add a RAM in the extra slots available in your system or laptop. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
जो रजिस्टर्स होते हैं दे आर लिमिटेड. यू कैन नॉट अलाउ कि अच्छा मेरे रजिस्टर्स इंक्रीज कर दो. दे आर इंटीग्रेटेड, दे आर पार्ट ऑफ योर प्रोसेसर, दे कांट बी चेंज्ड.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of the last line which you have written RAM and arrow registers?
मैं ये बोल रही हूँ. Okay, let me explain this once again. Whatever, first you write a program. That program is written in the secondary storage device. You can read all the contents of the files which are stored in your secondary storage device. These secondary storage device generally is your hard disk. Okay, it can be your pen drive. Directly you are writing code in the pen drive. So the secondary, this is accessible. All the contents are accessible. Now these if this is in high level language, this needs to be converted into machine language words. For that we have interpreters and compilers. So we have when we move to C, you will have a file which has this file which contains this machine language code. Okay, that file is also present in your secondary storage device. Now when you want to execute any program, जैसे program Python में you click on run module. Okay, that means we want to execute it. So that file should be loaded in RAM. How it is loaded? There is always a OS function, operating system command, operating system function, which help us in doing so, which help us in loading the contents of these files to RAM. Okay. RAM के बाद में there can be cache memory in between. Then if CPU wants to execute something, it will read the instructions from the RAM. और CPU के अंदर जो registers हैं, it will store the data here in the registers and can do processing. For example, अगर उसको multiplication करना है, if there is a instruction for multiplication of two numbers, so एक pseudo instruction form में I am writing it here, so it can be represented as R1, R2, R3. Okay, so what CPU will interpret it? It will say that run the multiplication operation. This O represents the operation. On operates register R1 and R2 and place the output in register R3. Once this once this which stores the result of this multiplication
Ma'am, your voice is lagging. We missed the whole point.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am,
ma'am.
it's lagging.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you saying that
Ma'am, your voice is lagging.
Ma'am, it's still lagging.
Ma'am, you should rejoin.
am I audible now properly?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
There was some network issue at my end. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me explain this thing once again. Now your instruction has come to RAM. Okay. Now there are few registers, a small number of registers integrated in your CPU, and they are numbered. Okay. And if you want to, if any computation needs to be executed, the data needs to be stored in these registers. So suppose I want to multiply two numbers. Okay. So suppose this is the pseudo instruction which has been written, which is represented in form of machine language or assembly language. So the CPU will interpret this as that it will see that run the multiplication operation on the operands that are stored in register R1 and R2 and store the output in register R3. Okay, so R1 or R2, suppose so what it will do, it will ALU will do this multiplication 5 into 10. Once this multiplication operation has been performed, the output will be placed in R3, register R3. Now this R3, the contents of R3 will again be stored or will move to RAM. Now if we want to print it, they can be printed. If they are stored in another variable, that will be stored here in the RAM. Okay, once everything has been performed, these contents will be displayed accordingly, or they will again be stored in your secondary devices. Okay, while execution, if it needs to be printed, it will print it. Otherwise, this RAM, the contents of RAM will be means replaced by some other program which will be executed at that time. Okay, and same process will be done. Store the instruction here permanently. Want to execute it, first it will be transferred to RAM. Then from RAM, they will be transferred to registers. Here execution will take place, and after execution, the output will again be stored in RAM. Is this clear?
Ma'am, if RAM and register are executing the instruction, then what is the need of cache?
See, cache is for faster memory, I said. अगर जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन हमको बहुत ज्यादा रिक्वायर्ड है ना, उस टाइम पे द कैश those instructions which are part of RAM, they will be instead in RAM, they will be stored in cache memory. Okay. But cache memory size is very limited, so we cannot load or we cannot store our complete data and code in cache. That will be stored in RAM only.
Ma'am, can you give an example where we have to use cache only and we can't use RAM?
ये हम decide नहीं करते. This is the role of operating system. Okay.
फिंगरप्रिंट में होता है ऐसा शायद.
किस में होता है?
फिंगरप्रिंट स्कैनर के अंदर से होता है.
Okay.
It loads your fingerprint into the cache memory, and when you come onto your login screen, तो वो अपने आप उसे खोल देता है लैपटॉप को.
So okay, but generally this is the thing, but all these resources ना, resource allocation कि कौन से डेटा को मुझे कैश में रखना है, कौन से वैल्यूज को मुझे रैम में रखना है, all these things, which instructions has to be loaded in memory, and how these data should be transferred to your output devices so that they can be displayed properly. All these things are handled by operating system, which you will study in more detail in your coming semesters. This computer organization also, this you will study in your coming semesters. But for an overview, like we will talk about variables, data types, how these instructions are getting stored. So this much information is required. Okay. Is this clear? Abhi tak ka?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now once again, I am coming back to RAM, because here this is the thing which we need to understand properly. Now when we talk about RAM, this can be considered as a list of cells. And we can say that these cells are numbered. Okay. And so on. The numbers in these are virtual numbers. These are not actually actual numbers. These are called as memory addresses. Okay. So whenever you store any data, suppose you write a equals to 5. So this data will be stored at a particular memory location. Okay. Is this clear? बस इतना सा समझ में आ गया कि whatever you will store, whenever you create a variable, the contents will need to be stored. When they will be executed, they need to be stored in RAM, and they will be stored at a particular memory address. When we talk about memory address, these are the addresses, these are the location of the primary memory, location of that particular cell of the primary memory where that instruction has been stored or where that value has been stored. Is this clear?
Ma'am, can you explain once again?
मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि your primary memory can be considered as list of cells. Okay. And these list of cells has certain numbers associated with them. Suppose I am giving these integer numbers, but they are not actually integer numbers. Suppose I am giving them 731 or 751, 1531, and so on. These numbers represents the memory address. Whenever you create any variable, so a equals to 5. What it means that 5 is stored at certain memory location, and since we can't talk in terms of memory addresses, this a refers to this memory address where this 5 has been stored. Is it clear?
मैम
Yes.
मैम ये वेरिएबल तो हमें परमानेंट स्टोर करना है ना, तो ये रैम में क्यों स्टोर हो रहा है?
रैम में कब स्टोर करते हैं हम जब प्रोग्राम को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं. अभी हम एग्जीक्यूशन के टाइम की बात कर रहे हैं. परमानेंटली तो हम सेकेंडरी मेमोरी में ही स्टोर करते हैं, बट व्हेन वी आर रनिंग द प्रोग्राम, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग एट दैट टाइम, उस टाइम पे इसको ये वैल्यू असाइन हुई ना, वरना फाइल में पड़ा हुआ है. दैट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस. It will occupy space in the RAM only when you will be executing that program. That will be loaded in the RAM. So इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, इस statement का मतलब क्या हुआ, that 5 is stored at a particular memory location, and that location is referred by a variable a. Okay. So whatever variables we will be creating, those variables will refer to a specific memory location where they can store the value. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
We will come to these things in the next or the coming classes, like how much memory is required to store number or character, and how these get stored in the memory. Abhi ke liye it's very basic. It can be considered as a group of numbered cells, and these cells are the memory. These numbers are the memory addresses, and they are used to store a particular value. Okay. Clear?
Ma'am, if we are using multiple programs, then we have also used multiple times A. So
देखो प्रोग्राम मल्टीपल प्रोग्राम्स लिखे हैं, मल्टीपल प्रोग्राम्स में एक टाइम पे तो एक ही प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट होगा ना.
yes, ma'am.
तो बस
Ma'am, but that particular variable A is locating to a particular location.
हाँ, when you will execute another program which also contains that variable A, that name will refer to maybe that अभी के लिए ये A equals to 5 था, maybe in another program it will be 25, but it may not be necessary that it will be pointing to that particular memory location. Memory location can be different, but whatever be the memory location, we can access it using this variable name. ओके एक तरह से इनके जो अजीब से नंबर्स होते हैं ना, इनका बड़ा सा नंबर होता है कुछ ऐसा, समथिंग लाइक दैट. अगर इस तरह का कुछ नंबर है मेरा मेमोरी एड्रेस का, तो इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू रिमेंबर ऑल द मेमोरी एड्रेसेस, एंड इट विल बी वेरी सिस्टम स्पेसिफिक. सो we have the provision of variable names in the higher level languages. Is it okay? So these variables refer to the particular memory location where these values are getting stored for a particular program in execution. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these are very basics. Now, basic unit of storage of digital data is bit, because we have discussed it that in computers everything is made up of they are electronic devices. Electronic devices consist of switches, transistors, capacitors, So they can have two option. If we talk about switches, it has two states, on and off. On represents 1, off represents 0. If we have capacitor, suppose if the charge stored is less than 0.5 volt, we can consider it as 0, else 1. So everything is represented in form of bits, and this is the unit of storage, basic unit of storage, and it has two values, either 0 or 1. Okay, now we say that whatever instruction we write, suppose we write this instruction, print hello. This instruction, if we want to execute it, this has to be converted into sequence of zeros and ones. Any doubt here? Raghav, Chirag?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So these should be converted into sequence of bits. Now converting these data and writing these data into sequence of bit is very difficult to understand. So for programmers' point of view, we have number system which help us in conversion of the basic characters or numbers into binary. Okay. So this number system help us in understanding how this data is getting represented in memory. Data representation. Now, generally, when we talk about single bit, it is a very small quantity to be adequately useful. So, in general, instead of using bit, we use a collection of bits as a practical unit for computer's operation. So 8-bit is 1 byte, 1024 byte. We talk, if we have this number of bytes, we talk in terms of kilobytes. Then 1024 kilobytes form 1 megabyte. Similarly, gigabyte, GB, terabyte, petabyte, and so on. Okay, so instead of using bit as a unit of representation, generally for practical purpose, we use these group of bits. Now, one thing, when we were installing, ideally, they have two options, whether your processor is 62 bits or your processor is 32 bits. Okay, what do we mean by these bits processor? It means that data is processed in chunks of 32 bits in case of 32-bit processor, and if data is processed in group of 64 bits, it is a 64-bit processor. And these chunks, this 32 bits and 64 bits, these chunks are called as one word. Okay, so the size of register, CPU के जो registers होते हैं, that is one word. So R1 can store the value. If it's a 64-bit processor, R1 can store a value which is of length 64, which can be represented in 64 bits. Okay. And most of these these days, most of the computers are 64-bit word-based machines. Is this clear? Yes or no? Any doubt so far?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
So time is not left and I don't want to start a new topic. So in tomorrow's class, this is the basic of computer organization and how what is happening when you are writing a program, where it is getting stored, and when you are executing it, how this gets executed, how it is converted into machine language, and everything gets executed. Okay, so this is the basic overview of it. You will study each and everything in detail in your higher semesters, but this is sufficient for our programming point of view. And for in the next class, we will talk about this number representation or data representation, like how these values, how these numbers are getting represented in machine language. Okay, binary language. Is this clear? If you have any doubt, you may ask, and those who want to leave can leave.
Ma'am, processor
Thank
size
you, ma'am.
32 bits means how much data it can store, means what
नहीं,
is the
मतलब जो प्रोसेस करते हैं ना हम रजिस्टर्स में, हम एक टाइम पे कितनी बिट्स को प्रोसेस कर सकते हैं. So we can process data of which can be represented in the chunks of 64 bits in a 64-bit processor. In case of 32-bit processor, we can process the data in chunks of 32 bits.
So ma'am, 64 bits will be faster than 32.
Of course, yes.
Okay,
उसमें
ma'am.
लार्जर डेटा भी हम रख सकते हैं और वो फास्टर भी होगा.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, how will be questions framed from this this topic? Like these details about.
These are the basics, means जो मैंने पढ़ाया है उसी को एक बार याद रख लो तो काफी है. We in computer programming, we may not ask direct question related to this computer organization, but this help us in understanding the concepts which we will be studying next. So this is required. This is the basic building blocks
Okay,
to
ma'am.
understand higher
Thank-
concepts. Hiten, loops will not be covered. These things will be covered in C. So the course of Python, whatever we have discussed, is sufficient. पहले के जो विंडोज थे वो 32 अर्लियर जो सिस्टम्स होते थे, प्रोसेसर्स होते थे. इट्स नॉट अबाउट विंडोज. विंडोज इज एन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रोसेसर्स. सो जो पहले के प्रोसेसर्स होते थे वो जनरली 32 बिट होते थे. दीज डेज मोस्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेसर्स आर 64 बिट प्रोसेसर्स. Akshat, you don't need any reference material for computer organization because this course is related to computer programming. This much is required for understanding. So you don't need to study these concepts in much more detail as of now.